What if some mythical creatures are ever mythical totalies? This is part of the notion people weren't mountaining monsters, but misidentifying real biology. Today we're exploring 5 mythical creatures that science says could exist, and stay until the end, because the last one is the most unsettling of all. Dragons appear in cultures that never met each other: China, Europe, the Middle East, the Americas. Different stories, same creature. So how? Large reptiles already existed. Dinosaurs ruled the earth for millions of years. Ancient humans often found massive fossilized bones and skulls. Without science, what would you call a giant skeleton with claws and teeth? But here's where it gets weird. Some animals today already show dragon-like traits. Komodo dragons breathe bacteria-filled air. Flying reptiles once existed. Fire-breathing? Some beetles actually spray boiling chemicals to defend themselves. Could early stories be exaggerations of real biology? Thousands of people claim they've seen it. Hairy, tall, walking upright, watching from the trees. Could they all be wrong? Gigantopithecus was a real ape. It stood over 9 feet tall. It lived in Asia, but humans migrated, and large primates adapt fast. Footprints are often dismissed, but misidentified bear tracks can stretch and change shape over time. Hair samples usually failed DNA tests because degraded DNA breaks easily. But the story doesn't end there. Undiscovered large mammals still exist today. We keep finding new species in remote forests. So why not one more? Sailors describe something massive beneath their ships: tentacles, pulling vessels under the waves. For centuries it was called fantasy, until science caught up. Giant squid are real. Colossal squid are even bigger. Some grow longer than a school bus. They live deep, very deep, and humans only discovered them recently. But here's the strange part. Ancient sailors didn't have submarines. If a massive squid surfaced once every few decades, that would be enough to create a legend. A bird so large it could carry elephants. That sounds impossible. But giant birds once existed. Argentavis had a wingspan wider than a small plane. Haste's eagle hunted humans. Some prehistoric birds weighed over 70 pounds. Now imagine this. Early humans watching a giant bird lift livestock. Stories grow. Sizes increase. Fear fills the gaps. But the core? A real animal. A creature made of parts. Lion, goat. Snake? Impossible? Not biologically. Chimerism is real. Some animals carry 2 sets of DNA. Others are born with mixed traits. Mutations can reshape bodies in extreme ways. Ancient people didn't have genetics. They described what they saw, the only way they could. But here's the unsettling part. Nature doesn't follow our rules. It experiments constantly, and sometimes it creates things that look impossible. Maybe myths were never lies. Maybe they were early science. Stories trying to explain a world we barely understood. And the next time you hear about a monster, ask yourself, was it imagination or memory?